did you get into DJing?
So I got into DJing, it was when I was in college. I just got into college, so it was 17, 18, and I just started going out to town, and I just loved music. It was always something that I'd go out and I'd just feel like liberated after a night out.
Any underage kids that have snuck in?
You know what? I wouldn't even know, because kids these days look so old. I can't even believe you're 13. I was just saying before, are you 13?
Yeah.
I can't believe you're 13. When I look 13, I was like, I look so young. Yeah. Do you want to get into producing yourself, or are you just kind of into DJing at the minute?
I'm kind of into DJing at the minute, but in the past I have wanted to like try and produce a song and that.
Yeah, because I think that's how everyone starts. Just you're either into DJing or you're into producing, and I started and I was just into DJing, and it's only kind of, well, I've only released my first songs this year. Most important people in my life, definitely my girlfriend. She comes with me to most of my gigs when she can. She kind of acts as like a tour manager, video taker, drink maker.
Hello everyone, welcome to our KidsKast podcast, the place where we get a bunch of cool people on to discuss anything and everything. I'm Laiba.
I'm Tiana.
I'm Laiba.
And today we have professional DJ Paige Tomlinson joining us.
Hi guys.
Hi.
So yeah, I'm Paige Tomlinson, I'm 26 and I'm a DJ and producer from Liverpool.
Where did you grow up?
So I grew up, I was born in Huyton, lived there for, I'd say, until I was 3-4, and then I moved to Widnes. So yeah, I've lived in Widnes all my life now, so I'm a wall.
How did you get into DJing?
So I got into DJing, it was when I was in college. I just got into college, so it was 17, 18, and I just started going out to town, and I just loved music. It was always something that I'd go out and I'd just feel like liberated after a night out. And especially in Liverpool at the time, there was just not a lot of female DJs, and it was always something I looked at and I just thought, why is there not a lot of females in this industry? Is this something that like I need to step in and do? And with my type of music, there was no one in the city that was doing that type of music. So I thought, right, there's an opportunity, there's a gap in the market for me to fully go into it. So I remember it was coming up to Christmas, and yeah, begged my mum and dad to buy me a set of decks and a computer for Christmas, and luckily they did. And then I spent like the whole of the next year just like learning myself how to DJ, just like fully involving myself in anything I could in the scene. And yeah, that's how I kind of got started into it.
Were you troublemaking in school or anything like that?
So in school, to be honest, in primary school and high school, I was always, although I wasn't the brightest, I was never in the top sets. I was thick, to be honest. But I was always one, I'd concentrate. I was always kind of like a geek in the class, wouldn't open my mouth. But I think kind of the turning point for me was when I got to college. I sort of just got bored with learning. I thought I didn't really know what I wanted to do. There wasn't like a career that kind of jumped out at me, and I got to college, got bored of learning, just didn't really put me all into my lessons. Obviously then I started going out, and yeah, so I think, yeah, primary school and high school, I'd say I was good, but didn't get the best grades. And then college, I kind of just messed it up, to be honest, and I didn't go to uni. I thought I'll just go straight into a job and kind of work my way up.
If you weren't a DJ, what would you be doing?
So if I wasn't a DJ, so obviously I just said I left college and I got straight into a job. So my very first job was I was working in a local pub as a waitress. Done that for about 2 years, and then I left there and I become a lifeguard in the local baths, and I was doing that, I'd say, done that for a few years, and then I went into swim teaching, done that for a few years, and I was just bored of it. So then I went in and done an office job, and I thought, right, I'll work my way up. But I think like every job I've had, I've never put me all into it, because they were never something that I loved doing. So I'd always get a job, I'd spend a year there, start messing around, what wouldn't do the best, and then I'd always just be like, right, I can't do these 9 to 5 jobs anymore. I need to just get into DJing and pursue it as a career. And the last job I had before I went full time was I was working for, do you know, Openreach?
Yeah, isn't
Yeah.
that like that BT company?
Yeah. So they'd put Wi-Fi into houses. So it was climbing up, do you know, the big telegraph poles
Yeah.
you see with the
Yeah.
cables. I was climbing up to the top of them and putting like cables up to houses, and yeah, giving internet to people's houses. And I was doing that for about a year until last October. And then I just decided that I'm going to leave this. I'm going to try and do DJing full time, because it was just getting too much to juggle the gigs and then going straight into like such a strenuous job, climbing up poles, working in the cold all the time. And I thought I need to just give DJing me all to give myself like the best opportunity to make it. So that's what I've done.
What was your childhood like?
So my childhood, I'd say my upbringing, I had a good upbringing, to be honest. My mum and dad were good. In school, obviously, like I've just said, I wasn't the smartest, but I'd always apply myself in school until I got to college. But I think the turning point for me was in college. Well, at the end of high school, I like found out that I was gay, and I came to my mum and dad and I told them, and they were just completely, just didn't agree with it at all. Thought I'd always been told as I was growing up that I was going to get with a boy, marry a boy, I was going to have kids. And yeah, when I told my mum and dad, they were gutted, to be honest. Said that it was just a phase. So I spent that whole year kind of like trying to brush it under the carpet and getting with other lads, seeing if I liked it. And I just thought, no, like, it wasn't for me. And I think that had like a huge effect on my college work. I wasn't applying myself in college. I was too distracted in like at home, my social life, and coming out as gay, really. So, and it's only kind of now I've realised, looking back, how much kind of it did affect me not being accepted by my mum and dad as being gay, because at the time I thought it never really affected me, but looking back, it completely changed me. College work, got a different group of mates, I was rebellious, yeah, so I think that really just affected me, but managed to get through it. My mum and dad now are really supportive, but yeah, that was like a proper tough time growing up.
What type of music like do you like to listen to, and like what type of music do you produce when you're DJing?
So I like to listen to like quite energetic stuff, house music, but more 90s influenced. So I like digging for records online, like old 90s records that like nobody's playing at the minute, that nobody knows. So then I can play them in my sets and everyone's like, whoa, what's that tune? And I think very much the same in me producing. I like to create quite energetic, lively stuff. So like when I'm playing, it gives me energy, and when I'm looking out into the crowd, I can see that everyone's loving it. And because I find for me, if I'm playing things with not a lot of energy and I get bored, it needs to have energy behind it. So yeah, play house music, but I listen to quite a lot. Listen to bands, listen to rap music. It's nice to kind of have like a change in the week when I've been listening to like house music all weekends when I've been playing. What type of music are you into?
I'm into a bit of like R&B and that.
R&B? Nice, you said drum and bass before as well.
Bass, yeah, as well.
Boss, what are you into?
Like R&B and rap.
R&B and rap.
Boss, it's got an R&B crew here, haven't we?
So do you know the way different people listen to different types of music? So I feel like it's funny how like music can affect your mood, if you know what I mean. Like if you listen to sad music, you'll feel more sadder. If you listen to more happy, energetic music, you'll feel more like happy.
Definitely, and I think that's why I seem to play more like energetic and happy music, because like it's going to bring you up, isn't it? Especially if you're on the dance floor and you're hearing something that's quite upbeat and energetic, it's going to bring you up. And if you're playing something that's quite moody, quite miserable.
Yeah. Is there anything in your life that you like to like redo or relive? Anything like that?
I'd say some of my biggest gigs I've played, I feel like have just went by too fast, and I've not really been in the moment with them. I've kind of just been too wrapped up in getting nervous before my gigs, and then like that it's over, and I've not kind of made the most of the build up towards my gigs. So I'd say I played a big venue in London called Printworks. I don't know if you've heard of
I
it.
think I've heard that.
It's huge, and that was one where I let go by too fast, and I wasn't in the moment with it. Another one I've played Glastonbury. Have you heard of Glastonbury Festival?
Don't think so.
It's like the biggest festival in the UK, I'd say, and probably the most famous one as well. So you definitely look at it if you're into music. I wish I could relive that, because that was a moment that was just like, I'd say, the best gig for me in my career so far.
There's like any like age limit on that festival?
You know what, kids can go to the festival. I think you've just got to be with someone who's over 18. So go home and beg your mum and dad.
What's the most embarrassing thing that ever happened to you?
While DJing, or like ever?
Ever?
Wow, that's a tough one. I'd say DJ wise, the most embarrassing things ever happened as when, and I hold my hands up, I swear loads of other DJs have done this as well, but when it happens to you, it's like the most embarrassing thing. So I've been playing, obviously you've got 2 decks, one of the tunes is playing on one deck, and I'm queuing up another tune on the other deck, and I've hit stop on the wrong deck, and the music has just went off in the full club, and it's just been silence, and that is like, I just want the floor to like swallow me off. It's the worst feeling in the world. But yeah, I think I've done that a few times.
What DJ mixer do you use?
I use the Pioneer V10. It's the newest one out at the minute. It's massive, to be fair. It's got like, how many channels? I think 6 channels on it. Loads of effects. But yeah, it's the new one out at the minute, and I prefer it because you can just do loads of different little tips and tricks on it.
Have you met any like famous DJs in the past?
Yeah, I've met quite a few, to be honest. And I was always the type, like I always still get starstruck whenever I meet anyone. I'm just trying to think some of the biggest ones I've met. So I've met, Sam Devine?
Not really.
So Sam Devine is like a huge house DJ. She plays for a huge brand called Affected. She's probably one of the biggest DJs I've met. She's really lovely. Some other ones I'd say Groove Armada. They're like a huge duo. They DJ together. They've got some huge classics from like the 90s and coming up. Honey Dijon. You'll have to Google all these after this and get into them. But yeah, honestly, every weekend I'm on lineups with like huge people, and I literally have to pinch myself. I can't believe I'm on lineups with people who are that big.
What's the most interesting like place you've ever been to?
Most interesting place, DJing wise.
Yeah.
So I played a gig in Bali. So that was so it's literally like a 19-20 hour flight to get there, and I was playing a gig and I had to fly all the way there to play the gig, and I wasn't even there 24 hours, and I had to fly all the way back. So that was a bit of a mission. But yeah, I think that's the most interesting, furthest away place I've ever played, which is a bit of a pinchy moment as well, because I was like, how do they know me over the other side of the world?
So, do you know, like, when you're DJing and you're in a club, have you ever, like, experienced or, like, seen something that's, like, crime-related? Like, anything crazy?
I've seen quite a few people, like, on the dance floors, like, on drugs, like, completely around the bend, like, not in a good way. And that's kind of, I think that's just like, you regularly see people in clubs. That's just what people do, which I don't condone, by the way.
Any underage kids that have snuck in?
You know what? I wouldn't even know, because kids these days look so old. I can't even believe you're 13. I was just saying before, are you 13?
Yeah.
I can't believe she's 13. When I look 13, I was like, I look so young.
Disguises, innit?
I know.
What was one of your favourite hobbies when you were a kid?
So when I was a kid, growing up, I was always into sport. Always. I played football all through high school. And that's what I kind of wanted to be. I never really knew what I wanted to be 100%, But I was always like, I got on with the PE teachers so well, and I kind of looked up to them as someone who I wanted to aspire to be like. And I think I wanted to be a PE teacher until I left school and I realised how many qualifications you had to get. And I never wanted to go to uni. I wanted to just go straight into a job and work my way up in a job that way. And then I realised you need to go to uni and get so many different qualifications. And then I just realised it was never something that I loved and I wanted to put me all in. And then I obviously took on board DJing and realised that was something that I wanted to put me all in more than anything in the world. So
What's something that you're bad at?
I'm really bad at, I'd say I'm such a perfectionist. Like, I always finish a set and I'm never happy with how I've played. I'm always critiquing myself and I compare myself a lot to others. Like, I'll watch another DJ after me and I'll be like, they're so much better than me. Why aren't I like them? Or I'll go on social media and I'll see people doing so well and I'll be like, why aren't I doing something as well as them? But I think that's kind of the day and age we're in, whereas everything's on social media, and it's something you just have to learn to kind of put a wall up to. Like, no one's ever going to be the best version of yourself but you. You need to just concentrate on yourself and not compare yourself to others, because everyone else is on their own journey in life, just like you're on yours.
Yeah.
So you need to just put it all into yourself. And that's something that, like, I have struggled with, and I do still struggle with now. I sometimes get too carried away with comparing myself to others and bringing myself down if I make a little mistake when I'm mixing, but that's just something that I still need to work on, to be honest. I still need to just concentrate on my path, my journey, and just block everyone else out around me.
Yeah. Have you got any good tips on like DJing, because I want to be a DJ myself?
Yeah, so I'd say some tips for some up-and-comers: definitely stay in your own lane.
Yeah.
Just like we've been saying, don't compare yourself to anyone else around you. Just do your journey and what you want to do, because I've been a culprit to it. I've been like, oh, they're playing that type of music, I'll start playing that type of music, and then a few months down the line I realised, right, why am I doing that? I don't like that type of music. So if you like a type of music, like you just said, drum and bass,
Yeah.
stick at it.
Like, play that.
Yeah, if your mates don't like it, so what? You like it, so stick at it. So definitely be yourself. Get involved in the community that you want to be in with music. Speak to other people that are involved in music. Get your name out there. As soon as you feel you're good enough and you feel happy with your progression, get a mix on SoundCloud, get a mix on YouTube, get yourself out there so people can start listening to you. And how I started was after a year of like teaching myself how to DJ, put a mix out there on SoundCloud, and I sent it to loads of events in Liverpool that I wanted to play for, and I just said, if you've got any opening slots, I'd love to get involved and I'd love to play. And a few messages down the line and people eventually started getting me on to play, and I entered a lot of DJ competitions as well, and I think that's massively why I've got to where I am today, because I won a big competition last summer for the brand that I was talking about before, Defected, and I think over like 50,000 people applied for that competition, and I was one of the winners out of 9, and they've kept me on to DJ at all their events all summer and still kept me on. So that's massively helped me boost me following up from last summer. So yeah.
Have any of your songs ever been played on like radio stations before?
Yeah, so my latest EP that's just come out, called Butts Bumpin', that is just being played on Radio 1 by Pete Tong, Danny Howard and Jaguar. And that's the first radio plays I've had play. So to like hear music being played on such a worldwide radio station, and it's my first EP I've had out as well, so like my first few tunes to be played on a huge radio station like Radio 1 was just something that I didn't think would happen so early on. So yeah, I'm over the moon with that.
Yeah. What's a couple of songs, like the name of the songs that you've produced?
So Butts Bumpin', Rocked It, and Get Funky, Get Down, and all three of them are on Spotify.
I think I've heard one of them before.
Have you? What one?
Yeah, I think I've heard Rock in it once.
Was it? Oh, sick, yeah. So they're the three I've got, and then I've got like loads more coming up to be released this year, which is big, so yeah. Do you want to get into producing yourself, or are you just kind of into DJing at the minute?
I'm just kind of into DJing at the minute, but in the past I have wanted to like try and produce a song and that.
Yeah, because I think that's how everyone starts. Just you're either into DJing or you're into producing, and I started and I was just into DJing, and it's only kind of, well, I've only released my first songs this year, and I've been teaching myself to produce for the past 4 or 5 years. So it's something that like I took on board and started learning after I learned how to DJ.
Is there anywhere where you can watch me like DJing that?
Where you can watch me DJ.
Yeah.
So I've got loads of live streams on YouTube. I think there's about 5, 6 on there that you can watch if you just search my name and they'll come up. And all my gigs, I'm just trying to think, all my gigs, I think you've got to be 18 to go. So until you're 18, then I can put you on the guest list. Yeah. But yeah, loads on YouTube, loads of mixes on SoundCloud. There's some of my tunes on Spotify as well, so you can look at them all on there.
You got like a YouTube channel where you can also like stream music from?
Yeah, so I haven't got one, but I work with a brand called Affected, one of the biggest house brands in the industry, and I do live streams with them. So I come on, record an hour mix, and they're all on their channel on there. So what are you into? Are you into any hobbies outside of school, or?
Not really, I just like to go out with all my mates and like stay at home.
So I go cadets.
Nice.
It's like a bit of army training.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Sick.
And then I do like netball, but I don't really go to like netball clubs. But like if we were doing it in PE, I was like,
that's kind of your thing.
Yeah.
Boss, do you not want to get into any sports?
Well, I used to do boxing, but then I just don't have the effort for it anymore.
Yeah, it is like you need to put a lot into boxing, but it is nice always. Like when I was growing up, I played football. It's good to get involved in a team. It's good to have that sense of like community. I feel like playing a sport is one of them. You get yourself involved and you just keep yourself busy. So I feel like you should definitely get into something, or DJing after this.
Yeah.
Are you naughty in school, or are you well behaved?
I can be a bit of a menace sometimes.
Can you? I can tell by your 2 giggles before the podcast and know what you used to were like.
Well, in year 7 and year 8, I'd say I was like a bit naughty, and I was a bit like, I wouldn't do things that I was meant to be doing in school. But then I'd say, because there was like this thing in school where they set it up for like the naughty kids. It was like a program for 6 weeks to like change our behaviour and attitude towards school.
Yeah.
And then ever since I got out of that, I feel like my behaviour changed a lot, and I've started improving, and I'm not like as misbehaved in school as I am now.
Amazing.
So, yeah, I'm not that misbehaved.
Good, amazing. Well, that obviously changed how you are and how you're going to be in school, isn't it? So that's amazing.
Has DJ like ever done anything good for you, like in the past?
In what way has it?
Like life in general.
Yeah, so definitely, like I said before, like I managed to go full time with DJing last October, and that's something I've kind of been working towards since I've started DJing. So yeah, this is my full time job now. DJ on the weekends, then in the studio all week making music. So yeah, massively, it's done something good for me. It's completely changed my life around.
Who are the most like important people like in your life and career?
Most important people in my life, definitely my girlfriend. She comes with me to most of my gigs when she can. She kind of acts as like a tour manager, video taker, drink maker. Yeah, so she helps me a lot with everything. My mum and dad, massively, they've helped me with my career. Bought me my first set of decks, computer, and have always helped me with anything I've needed. And yeah, they love coming to me gigs. Well, especially now I'm like a bit big and I'm playing more gigs to like thousands of people, but I think they just like coming so they can drink all the free ale. So yeah, definitely there. So who are some important people in your lives?
My mum, my dad, and a couple of my mates. Like, I've got a mate Jane that like helps me like come up with some ideas if I do want to produce music and that. My mum, my dad have like mostly bought everything for me for like my DJing kit.
Boss.
And like other parts of my family, like me nan, and my granddad have put money towards it as well, so I can like try and start myself a career.
Boss, and it's so good like how young you're starting as well. Yeah. Like I can see it being huge by the time you're 18.
Yeah.
I'd say my mum and my dad and my family and like a couple of my friends as well, cause like I've got like really nice parents and like they're dead nice to me, and then I've been brought up well as well. I haven't got like nothing bad. So yeah, my mum and my dad, because my mum's really nice and really forgiving and she teaches me like really good life lessons.
Good.
And yeah.
Good, amazing.
How have the setbacks in life turned you into the person you are now?
I think definitely because I've had so many setbacks in my career, like people saying no, sending music to labels and them saying no, it's not good enough, no, we don't want that sound. And it's kind of at the time a kick in the teeth, but it makes you take a step back and push on, and it makes me want to do better for myself and get past them hurdles. And I'm a true believer in everything happens for a reason. So whenever something doesn't go my way, I just always think, well, it wasn't meant to be. And it pushes me on to get over the hurdle and get on with it and push myself further to get past it. Yeah.
What's the biggest achievement in your life, and is there anything you would like to still achieve now?
So biggest achievement in my life, I think, would definitely be playing for Glastonbury Festival, because I've been going to that festival for years, even before I was DJing. It's, like I said before, the biggest festival in the UK, probably the most famous, I'd say, maybe worldwide. So when I got the email to play, I couldn't believe it. And it's still like a moment I look back on and think that is the biggest moment in my career so far. But I'm the type of person that once I've done something, I always want bigger and better. I always want the next best thing. Yeah. I'm never like settled on something. I'm always pushing myself to get a bigger festival, a bigger gig, play with bigger DJs, a better set time, play better in my sets, because I'm, like I said before, I'm a perfectionist as well. I'm never happy. So.
Yeah. What was one of your favourite TV shows to watch when you were little?
When I was little, do you know what? I always loved Disney Channel, and I think as well, that was another thing. I used to watch like Disney Channel and see all these like kid actors on there, and I used to look at them and think like, wow, their life must be amazing. They don't have a normal job. They're on telly. They must be getting so much money. And that was always something that spurred me on to be like, I don't want a normal life 9-to-5 job. I want to do something a bit different from the crowd. And yeah, I always looked at them kids and I was just like, I wish I was like that. And it pushed me on all through my life to be like, try and do something different than what colleges and the schools are pushing you to do. Because in college, they always push me to go to uni and do something educational, which is good, but it's not always the right path for everyone. There's different paths for everyone. Say I took the DJ path, there's a footballer path, boxer path. Not everybody fits the same box.
Yeah. Who inspired you to start DJing?
Who inspired me to start DJing? It was more like there was not a lot of female DJs in the city, and DJing's a very male-dominated job, I'd say. Most of the people on lineups are always males. Most of the things are run by males, and it spurred me on to see that there was no females, and I wanted to be the next big thing in Liverpool, the next big female DJ in Liverpool, because there was no one at the time, and that's what motivated me, really. As well as there's been other DJs growing up who I've looked up to, like Peggy Goo. Do you know Peggy Goo? Come on, you've got to be onto that
No.
Peggy Goo song.
No.
I bet if I play it after this, you'll know the tune. But she's huge. She's always been a female DJ that I've looked up to. And as when I've seen her play when she had 10 people watching her, and now she plays to thousands of people. It's always been females that have kind of like inspired me. Any female who's doing well, no matter what career, I've always wanted to get behind them, and they've always inspired me to do it for the girls.
So, as a DJ, who pays you? Because, like...
Yeah, so as a DJ, I have an agent, so my agent who works for me, and he goes out and emails loads of events, loads of brands, or brands email him and want to book me basically, and then the promoters of that event pay the agency, then the agency pay me the fee. Never used to be like that though. I used to, back in the day, when I used to turn up to like playing clubs in town, it used to just be like cash in hand of like 100 quid. And I used to be like so made up, whereas now, yeah, it's a little bit more technical. But yeah, it's good. If I didn't have my agent, I wouldn't have had half the gigs I've got today, because he really does work hard for me.
If you've ever had anything like traumatising in the past, that's like kind of like threw you off DJing.
I think definitely when I've made mistakes, I kind of have streaks, I think, but I feel like it's all in my head. I'll have streaks of like playing gigs and I'll make mistakes and I'll be like, oh my God, I can't DJ anymore. Like, what's going on? I've made mistakes. But then I'll have that one good gig where it's flawless and I'll be like, right, I can DJ again. It's all good. So I think a few times when I've had like a few bad gigs and made some pretty big mistakes, I've always come off and been like, I can't do it. Because if I make a mistake, I come off and I feel like ashamed of myself. I feel embarrassed that all them people have watched me make a mistake and I'm meant to be a professional DJ, but no one's perfect. Everyone makes mistakes.
You ever like had anyone be mean to you because you messed up?
Yeah, a few times, to be fair. I've seen people laugh at me when I've made a mistake, or like smirk looking at the mates that have made a mistake, and it does make me feel embarrassed, but then at the same time I'm like, we're not robots. We're bound to make mistakes. Like, nobody's perfect in life, no matter what you're doing. Mistakes only make you better, and if you don't make the mistakes, you're never gonna get better, are you? So looking back at the mistakes, I'm glad I've made them, because they're always something that I've thought, right, why am I making that mistake? I'll go on with X and I'll practice what I've just done so I'll never make that mistake again. Is there anything in your lives where you've made a mistake and you've made like...
I like used to make like Jordans a lot in school for people and that, mess one of them up.
Yeah.
It's like took me like dead long.
Yeah.
So eventually I just have to like tell them that I've messed it up, or I'll have to make another one. That kind of made me a bit embarrassed.
Yeah, how does it make you feel?
Bit annoyed, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it makes you feel angry, doesn't it? And like I'm finishing these big gigs, sometimes 1,000 of people, and I should be coming off and I'm made up, but sometimes I'm coming off and I just feel like angry at myself. And my girlfriend's always like, you smashed it, you played amazing. And I'm like, no, never. I know I made that one mistake 5 minutes in, and she's like, oh, why? Like, you're such a perfectionist. But if I wasn't a perfectionist, I wouldn't get better. So
What's 3 things you can't live without in your life?
definitely music, obviously. Wouldn't be where I am today without it. Say secondly, my car. Because if I didn't have it, I wouldn't be able to get to some of my gigs. Another thing is my family as well. It's to have them around me and have them support me in something that I'm really passionate in. Is to hear them say they're proud of me is just something that really spurs me to keep on going. What are 3 things that you couldn't live without?
Mainly my phone.
Yeah.
Me second, my family.
Yeah.
And me second, my house. Me third, my house.
Yeah, your house, to be fair. Yeah, that's a good one. Didn't think of that. What about yous?
My mates, my family and my phone.
Yeah, good.
My phone, my family, and my friends probably.
Yeah, to be fair, yeah. I'll have to have my phone on there as well, because what would I do without my phone?
What advice would you give to like a young child if they want to like do something.
So I think advice I'd give would definitely be, because I feel like when I was growing up, it's all changed. Everything's on your phone now, and it's something that even I struggle with is like comparing yourself. You probably compare yourself to your mates or see your mates doing something or and want to follow the crowd. I'd say don't follow the crowd if it's something that you don't want to stick with. And say definitely create your own path in life in something that you want to do, not just because your mate wants to be a hairdresser. Oh, I'm going to be a hairdresser. If you're not happy with doing something, don't do it. Another thing as well, I'd say, because I was always growing up, I was always quite like gullible, and I'd think like everyone was my best mate. I'd meet people and I'd be like, oh yeah, they're my best mate, and I'd kind of get dragged in different directions, and then I'd realise not everybody's your mate, not everybody has your best interest at heart.
Yeah.
You have to kind of choose who you want to hang around with, which is, it's tough to realise because I'm still a culprit for it now. I think everyone's your mate, but it's always no one has your best interest at heart. People sometimes love to see you doing bad, and I think a lot in my career people love to see you fail for some strange reason where everyone should be working together to try and create something amazing. And social media as well, a big one that we've talked, just don't spend too much time on it. I'm the same. I'm too busy on my phone, addicted to looking at other people's lives. Just stay in your lane.
One of my main ones is like TikTok. I'm actually quite addicted to that.
Say you think you're on it for 2 minutes, next minute 2 hours have flew past, haven't they?
Thanks for coming and joining us. It was really nice to chat to you and that.
Thank you for having me. It's been boss. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.